What do you mean you're leaving for lunch, Ray? It is 4:13. What are you talking about? Whose lunch? If you ate 10 minutes early, you're already late. Yeah, that's factual. I like to say, we did say around 4. I'm just saying, we did say around 4 o'clock. Bow, bow, bow. Is my mic loud? Or is it just me? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still buying Elizabeth the time. Well, thanks, Ray. I call this my Steve Jobs turtleneck. I weirdly wear it with a lot of black pants, and I look ridiculous. Force is a state of mind. Completely agree. We get some people to thank Pericles for the 34 freaking months. Pericles says, oh, look, I'm approaching the 3-year mark, and now I can't go touch grass because it snowed and it's cold. We have, like, some kind of sleet issue going on in Charlotte. It was, like, gonna snow, but it wasn't cold enough to snow, so then it was, like, a whole thing. And whatnot. Hello. You're still not on live on air, so if you need to still get ready and stuff, I can still talk about the weather. You good? You're good, homie. Everyone be nice to Elizabeth, especially you, Ray. I want to hear it.
Oh no, is Ray being a sassafras?
When is Ray not being sassy? That's our next question.
That's a
I think
great
this should just be an
question.
airing of grievances about Ray.
An airing of grievances about Ray. Whoa!
Ray, where do I even start?
Ray.
1, you're always in here. No, just kidding.
Recording in progress.
That's your first problem. You're here.
It's motherfucking chilly. It's like 45 in it's like 45 in Charlotte with high humidity, so it's not too bad. I'm still sweating on my walk to work, which is unfortunate. I'll be like bundled up because it's cold, but then I'm still actively sweating when walking, so whatever.
That's my least favorite.
Ash is here to introduce iVandally. I call this my Steve Jobs turtleneck. So,
What product we got coming out next?
The eye sleep. I just want to nap all the time.
Living the dream.
I'm so sorry some people follow time. I said 4-ish, and Elizabeth got here at 4-ish, and I got here at 4-ish. I feel like... What does everyone define 4-ish as? I feel like plus minus 15 minutes.
Yeah, I got here with 15. I was having a little nap, and I woke up.
Elizabeth was doing things.
We call that the unemployed sads, just sleeping it through.
And then you were about to bitch about my real job wanting some kind of fucking thing before I went live. I'm like, it's fucking shit. Oh my god. It's December 1st hit in corporate America, and everyone's like, oh my god, I did nothing all year, and I'm going to make it your problem, Ashley. It's like, great, awesome. Thank you so much.
I hate that. Like, no one does anything during the 2 weeks leading up to Thanksgiving. Then you hit December 1st, and it's like, oh wait, we have a whole year of things to do.
They need comms sent, they need one-pagers made, they need 1-minute messages, and they're like, Ashley, you do this, here, do it. Excuse you.
You could say please.
You could say please. Steve, thank you so much for the 9 freaking months. Hello, Ash Vandalay. Life is full of karma as I went to the ER last week. Oh my gosh. With a large pancreas after avoiding eating good things instead of processed food shit. Still alive, that. Well, I'm glad you're still alive, Steve.
That's so
my
sad.
Gosh. Everything good? Do you have to go back? Is your pancreas now unenlarged? What is the correct proper
You'd hope
terminology
so.
there? What's up, Nitro? Seeking Gradient, thank you so much for the 45 months. Everyone, this is now a doctor podcast. I'm just going to Google on WebMD enlarged pancreas and see what that means.
If you do that, you could become the next Dr. Oz.
Isn't he an actual doctor? I think he actually went to
he
medical
is,
school.
He wasn't a very good one.
Doctor... Oh, now I need to know. Dr. Oz. I'm pretty sure he actually went... Yeah. He is an actual doctor.
A doctor like a PDF doctor, like a Calvin Marco is a doctor.
It's so fucking funny. Oz began his medical career with residency in general surgery and a fellowship in cardiothoracic surgery at Presbyterian Hospital in New York City, then affiliated with Columbia in 1986. Did a heart transplant for Frank Torrey, brother of New York Yankees manager Joe Torre. Departed. He opened the Cardiovascular Institute Integrative Medicine Program at New York Presbyterian, where he served as a doctor. Look at that. I wonder what happened. I guess the money's in quack.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Sometimes you just gotta sell out. And you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Big sellout.
6 months of bland diet? Because of your enlarged pancreas? Oh my god.
That's so sad.
Okay, that's gotta be applesauce.
bread.
Bread?
Bread? Yeah.
Does bread include croissants? Or is that too much butter?
I feel like the butter probably puts it away. Like you probably can't
Half
do
a croissant? Steve, do not take medical advice from this podcast. Let's just make that abundantly clear before we say anything else.
that. You can have one little bite of anything you want. Just don't go for two. And I mean little.
Oh, rice.
Oh yeah, rice.
But you can't
Bananas.
add anything to it. Oh, I love bananas.
They get old pretty quick when it's the only thing you can eat.
For 6 months? Sheesh. You have the same diet as Ray, so maybe he can give you some tips. That's right, Ray. I'm not done.
Oh!
Just gonna give it a Ray strays throughout the broadcast. Just randomly. Pew pew. For some reason, I closed down what we were talking about. Let me put up our Google Docs again. Elizabeth, how are you doing?
I'm doing. I ate a lot of food. I'm awake. I've got a little race car Christmas shirt on. So I'm ready for the holiday season when I finally finish changing all of the lights on my Christmas tree.
Oh, fun. I saw you put up your tree. I didn't see the full. I just saw your cats underneath the tree.
Yes, some of the lights burned out last year. It's a pre-lit tree, so I'm picking open every single one and replacing them. I thought it was a 500 light tree. It is actually a 1,000 light tree. So I have put in 600 lights, and I'm still waiting for some more to come in the mail so that I can finish, and then we can get that decorated.
You know, you can buy too late for you now. You should obviously finish replacing all of them, but you can buy like a tool that tells you which bulb it is.
Ours was like, if you looked at our tree, you could see almost every single one. I think it got like power surged and they just all exploded.
I see.
That or it's just a Wayfair quality tree, because it is. And the lights did not make it through year 3.
We got Govee lights because we have Govee like other lights that we use on our phone, like an app and stuff, so you can make all different colors with it and like decorate it how you want. So currently it's just red and green blinkies. But
I love that.
yeah, maybe we'll do something else. But it's been a huge debate in my significant other's house when we put up the tree with his family. My family has been this debate. Well, I mean, there's only one winner to the debate, which is my mother. But are you a colorful lights or just white lights?
Oh my god, I'm a white light person. Me and Chris have been going off at each other about, because he's like, you should just get colored. Can I have just one colored string light for the tree? And I was like, no.
Why?
No, you can't.
What is your reasoning for not having color lights?
The ornaments are colored.
Okay, they're not shiny.
What do you mean they're not shiny?
They're not like shiny and bright.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't like. Blue is not a Christmas color.
What do you mean?
Orange is not a Christmas color. Like, if that's on the light string, it's out for me. I can't do it. Why would you have a green light on it? Absolutely not.
This is some crazy comms, Elizabeth.
I feel really strongly about this. I have to think about why I dislike it so
You
much,
really
but I
do.
just do dislike
Can you like
it.
dig deep? What did your family do?
We always had the yellow, or like just the yellow twinkly white lights. My grandma did the colored ones, and I never minded at my grandma's house.
You don't hate your grandma by any chance? Oh, okay.
She's dead now, so. Yeah, I don't know. I just.
What I'm finding is a lot of people do the opposite of what they grew up with. So for my parents, okay, so my parents are an asterisk for like a different subsection because they grew up in Soviet Union, Poland. They didn't have any of this. So when they came to America, in my mom's head, it was like a classy Christmas is what I've always wanted. So it's white lights and then one other color. It's either red or blue. And then we have matching ornaments to go with whichever color she picks for the year. But in her
Matching
head, she's like,
ornaments.
no tacky tree. The ornaments all have to make sense in some way or be like the same hues of blue or in that family. Like, she's very diligent about the tree. Except now with my nephews, obviously making shit at like kindergarten or preschool, she'll put that up. But not me. Anyway, a little bitter about that. And
Start making ornaments right now.
yeah, I'll just say it's
Start hanging them.
I'll say it's my nephew's name. It's really just me, my handprints. Oh, Connor's hand is fucking huge. But for me, because we had such a strict like Christmas rules, I was like, no, fuck it. My tree's gonna be tacky as shit. So Govee, and I'm like, yeah, we can make a rainbow. I don't fucking care. And then all our ornaments are either felt or glass. And and we pick them up from places we go. So we went to the Tennessee Aquarium. We have a felt otter. We went to a national park. We have like a glass like fossil ornament thing, Indy 500 ornament, things like that. So everywhere we go, we've picked up an ornament. We don't care if it matches. We just want to remember places we've been.
Cute.
That's going to go on the tree. So,
I definitely still have, like, my mom, we never had any, like, rules about the tree. It was always just, like, if we made something, we could hang it up. If we found an ornament, we could hang it up. My grandma, as, like, a tradition, would buy us an ornament every Christmas, so we'd have our special, like, grandma ornament that she got for us. So when I moved here and got my first, like, actual full-size tree, my mom, like, gave me a little gift box of, like, my old ornaments. So I have my first Christmas ornament from when I was a little baby. And then I have a bunch, like, I drew circles and tried to cut them out and scribble, like, colors in them. But it's very, very poorly done because I think I was, like, 2. So I have those that go on the tree.
Nice.
And yeah, just the colored lights are just a no for me. That's the only thing that I
just don't
have,
know why
like,
you're so visceral
a hard
about it.
up
'Cause
about
it's not like you're saying it doesn't. I don't know. Like your reasoning doesn't make sense, or like there is no reasoning. You're just like no.
There is no reason. I am the gal who for 2 years put a poop emoji hat on top of the Christmas tree, and that was our Christmas topper, and I was fine with that. But like you put the color lights on, I just don't.
You also like color. Like it's not like you're strictly like
Yeah.
I only wear black. I only wear neutrals. Like you wear a lot of colorful things. Which so like your sunglasses and like all the stuff. I'm like Elizabeth, I think you would like colored lights on the tree.
I think the problem here it is. I think the problem is if there are blue lights on it, the blue lights freak me out. Like my dad dated a woman who she would decorate a little tiny tree for every holiday season. So like pink or red for Valentine's Day, but she'd do blue ones, and the blue ones like messed with my eyes. Like I would look at it and it just freaked me out.
Yeah, that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to my counselor about that one.
Yeah, put that in your back pocket because I don't think we have the time to unpack here today. The thing about the Govee lights that I really wanted, because like sometimes we just want the white lights because it looks really crisp, but like I like colorful too. So like because it's like on your app, you can just fucking change them to whatever you want.
That's easy peasy. My mom got one that was like you can just like with a little remote you can change it between the colored lights or the white lights, and then
that's
like
what my
you can
significant
also
other's family has done because one part of the family really just wants white, the other part of the family like there's 4 kids, 2 adults, also 2 parents. So it's like everyone's arguing about what colors.
fist fighting.
I want an F1 livery that has actual Christmas lights hanging from it. Wasn't there a video with them doing like a Christmas tree on top of a Red Bull or something?
Probably, I think there was where they were like driving around with it.
Yeah, doing the thing that people do now with their cars, putting the Christmas lights on it would be fun.
I make my own little F1 ornaments. Cut them out of clay.
Oh, we still have
paint
your
them.
ornaments.
Yeah. Hang those bad boys up. I got a Francois Sever and a Rodney Peterson one that I'm very stoked to get on the tree once the freaking lights are on.
We can't put any like breakables on the tree just yet because of this. Fuck. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm pointing to, but it's the cat.
Has he been good?
He definitely climbed the tree at first, and then we sprayed it down with like lemon. His cats don't like citrus. He still goes up to it, and I think he likes, because it's a fake tree, and he just like likes that it's itchy, and he can like bite into it. And it's like it gives him something. He currently sits under it, but even with the lights, but he's not climbed it yet again. So,
being a good boy. Ours never tried. All 6 of ours, never once. Yeah, never. People get the tree out every year. I see the kind of like I can't get cats climbing the tree as soon as it's out. Never, like they go in underneath it. And they have they make a little nest there. We call it Baby's Festive Chateau because Slider's always under there. It's like she's the proprietress of this little like cabin. But like they never once went up on it. They'll bat the ornaments every so often. But like we just keep the soft ones near where they can get them, and
Yeah.
been fine.
He climbed when we were on Sunday. We were both upstairs doing something, and he climbed it. The tree fell down. I think that scared him enough to like not do it again.
Yeah,
It was fine. There's nothing on it. So like we just put it up, and I was like, let him investigate. So we figured that would happen. So we think that scared him. And then with the
Scared
lights
him
though, we
straight.
weren't sure. He would be like, oh, look at this tree. This is so exciting. So we just left it on. Since this is a Christmas podcast, and I want to share my gingerbread Doritos. Do they actually taste like gingerbread, or do they just say gingerbread Doritos? Because that's the real question. That sounds foul. Even though
sounds foul,
Doritos is
but I
the
feel like-
official chip sponsor of Formula One. Sorry,
no,
Doritos.
official savory snack. They're not just a chip; they're
Oh,
more.
So I can be a salty snack. So like I can
That's a good
sponsor. a salty-
question.
Yeah. Huh?
Probably could.
Uh-huh.
But the no like Jack Link's beef jerky.
Right.
Can't have that because that's a savory snack.
No mushrooms.
No mushrooms. No umami. Strictly off limits.
But if you're a pretzel,
Got a chance.
got a chance.
Got a chance.
All right, with that, someone's trying to talk Formula One in the chat while we're talking Christmas trees. I guess we have to talk about motorsports here. Ladies and gentlemen,
It's
welcome-
December. I don't think I should have to think about race car.
I am so chat. Okay. Can we lock in here for a second together? I am just. This is gonna sound terrible, and I know because Elizabeth and I should be very fortunate to be like so ingrained in the sport, and like we love it so much, and like for decades, right? I'm 33. I started watching at 13. All this other. I'm so fucking tired. I just wanted to stop. I just want everyone to shut the fuck up. I just don't want to watch any more racing. I'm tired. I want 1 month where we just don't.
We don't even no. Do we get a full month? We do get a full month.
Yes.
We
For
get a month.
race.
We get like
No,
6 weeks.
Dakar comes.
Oh, I forgot about that. Sheesh.
But you can't really watch it because it's in the United States and they don't air it live because of obvious reasons. So like, it's not the same. I'm okay with Dakar because you just get the updates daily. And it's like, fine, I'll watch it in the morning.
Frick. So much.
Oh, ALMS is kicking off in 2 weeks.
I fear I will not be watching.
Stop being eclectic in your motorsports and just stick with one. You'll have plenty of time off. Now with Formula One.
Formula One goes all. The Formula One news cycle is absolute insanity. I should not have to finish the final race on December 7th and then on January 15th be forced to once again care because we've got the Red Bull livery launch. That's crazy. It's not even Daytona yet.
Before that, you have, I think, Aston Martin's on like the 9th or
Oh
something.
my god,
isn't
that's
it?
right. Yeah, Aston Martin's is for
And then they have
super
preseason
early.
testing at the end of January. So then we fucking go again.
I need a little breaky. I need a little nap.
You know what really sucks when I meet people outside and they're like, oh, like you've done work and like you've been in the paddock or you've like worked with Red Bull like contracting stuff or you work with Cadillac, and they're like, oh, let's talk about racing, and I'm here like I don't fucking want to talk about it. I'm so fucking done. I just want to be at this wedding and get fucking wasted. Shut up. I don't want to talk about this. Everyone's like so excited. They're like, oh yeah, and I'm like, I just one word responses. I'm like, yep, totally, Yep.
Car, it went vroom.
Car went in room. Yeah. It's consistency wins championships. The team. Whatever other fucking shit. Michael Jordan was really the best. Better than LeBron. Just walk away. Didn't Aston schedule their launch after Barcelona testing days?
Might have. I don't know. I haven't been keeping track of that kind of thing.
I might have read it too quickly because they also use their European date format as opposed to the American date format. So I read it very quickly. It confused me for a second. Then I remembered the format of the dates. And now I don't remember what the date was. I thought it was the 9th.
Time is a flat circle. None of it counts.
So is it February 9th then?
I think so.
All right, someone will correct me anyway. All right, 9th of Feb. I thought it was 9th of January. Time is a weird soup.
I like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Elizabeth and Ash Show, episode 70. Boop, 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 boop. Let's get into our news of the week. Announced today on the 2nd of December. Red Bull has finally settled on its driver lineups for 2026. Elizabeth, tell us about it.
We have great news, everyone. We have Isaac Hadjar in Red Bull Racing. I don't know if that's actually great news. I'm an Isaac Hadjar fan. Part of me is like, it's going to be different with Laura Meckies. we're gonna be okay, but I also don't quite know. But we got Isaac Hadjar, Red Bull Racing, alongside Max Verstappen. Yuki Tsunoda is no longer part of the full actual driver lineup. He will be a reserve and test driver. And over at VCARB, we have Liam Lawson pairing with Arvid Lindblad being promoted from the junior categories. So we will have plenty to watch for. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
How do I phrase this question? This is a very non-professional, off-the-cuff question. How has Liam Lawson gotten away with it? God, I'm serious, because if anyone else in Red Bull was doing the thing, they would have like cut him and been tough and like all, you know, like I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve to be in F1. I personally have no beef. He's a very nice man. I've met him. We talked about stuff. We talked about all the fucking roundabouts and Milton Keynes. If you know, you know. I just know, we all know Red Bull's reputation for, I mean, obviously with the new team principal, that might be a little bit different, but
yeah. As Chab says, who else is going to take his seat? I fear that this is exactly what has happened with Yuki Tsunoda, because at no point did Yuki Tsunoda ever, like, he's been fine, but at no point did he ever, like, stick out. He was just consistently dependable-ish.
Sure.
And so they kept him there. So I think Liam is in the similar position where they don't have anybody else that they can bring in unless they sign from outside of the Red Bull program.
I'm not trying to.
Yes, he has been improving. It's just
throwing out what I know. Patterns.
Some folks last 2 races. Some folks will ride and die their career through there.
It's like they roll a D20 before every race and see what happens.
Yeah.
The second they announced going to Ford over to Honda, Tsunoda's fate was sealed. Yeah. We were definitely aware of that. But he's saying as a test and reserve driver.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's good for him. But no. So I am happy for Isaac Hadjar, and I've got it. We've seen him throughout this season. Rough start. Gotten immensely better. I'm just nervous, but of course, new team principal. Hopefully, a new just way we handle things in the organization.
Please don't kill my boy.
But yeah, I think everyone's just nervous because they're like, yeah, our little guy, one of our many little guys, our little ducklings, we're just a little nervous.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then Max Verstappen, who saw that coming?
I certainly thought he was going somewhere else.
Yeah.
I thought he was retiring for good.
Though I do like his interviews recently. He's like, I don't really care if I win another one. If I left Formula 1 tomorrow, I'd be fine. I'm like, oh, okay. Cool.
Girl, same.
Yeah, if I had 4 world championships, TBD on 5, I'd also be fine leaving.
Oh, what a guy.
Speaking
we also have
Martin.
another big switch with the Aston Martin crew. Adrian Newey is now team principal. So Newey is the head designer. He's been in charge of developing the 2026 car, but he has been promoted to team principal following a move from former team principal Andy Cowell. So Andy Cowell took a voluntary... the way that Adrian Newey described this basically on Sky Sports was that Andy Cowell was already serving as kind of the liaison, managing the relationship between Aston, Honda, and Aramco. So he was doing all of that, apparently, I guess, not leaving much time for the at the track or the operational stuff. Adrian Newey says, I'll be at the track for almost all of the races at the start of the year, so it just made sense that I inherited this role. So he will be in charge of still designing the 2026 car, kind of managing all of those departments, which it will be his primary focus. He's just now kind of taking on more roles with management and media. Yes.
I have another unprofessional question. How is this going to work with Adrian?
I mean, part of me so he's like in charge of the design of this new car,
yes,
right? But what he's doing is he's like less hands-on than he was in the past and more operational managerial. So I think he's already liaising between all of the departments, working together with everything. I think he's just now going to be doing more stuff at the racetrack too.
Is this going to be like a Ferrari situation?
We're going to find out.
You see where I'm going with this?
I do see where you're going with this.
But it worked out for Williams. A little bit more of an engineering mindset as team principal, so that was good. But
yeah.
It did not work out for Ferrari, and then they got Fred. So
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Part of me thinks if anyone's gonna get promoted into that role, like Adrian Newey probably knows how to run a Formula One team. I feel like he's been around, so we'll see if it works out or if it doesn't.
yeah, this is the man who says he has his assistant print out his emails because he hates using the computer. I don't know if that's changed.
Bernie Ecclestone was in charge of Formula One until quite recently, and he does the exact same thing. He does not send emails. What he does is he types them up, prints them off, signs them, then his assistant scans them, and emails them to someone else. You get a PDF.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding.
Why he's typing it up, why doesn't he just send it? We can skip so many steps in between.
Maybe he doesn't have a computer. Maybe he just has a typewriter.
Yeah.
Maybe he's, I don't know, delegating it. So he's definitely hand signing it.
Also, the next research question I know is going to sound ageist. I feel like I'm also constantly now mentioning some caveat of my statement because of this whole Antonelli thing and everyone like losing their absolute shit, which we'll get to in a second. But I'm like trying to cover my ass every 5 seconds now on the internet. Fucking stupid. I hate my life. I just want to be an angry New Yorker again. He's the oldest TP currently on the grid, but he's not the oldest team principal ever.
Newey?
Yeah, I Googled that.
Okay.
He's currently
Yeah.
the oldest, but not ever the oldest. So not that matters, but I was just curious about how that all worked out. He's fine. He's scared of hackers, smart man.
Can't blame him. Can't blame him.
Can't blame him, I guess. We'll see how this goes.
I'm interested. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for some chaos. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, but like next year, not now. I'm tired.
Correct. This year's been a lot already.
Yeah.
And finally, on our news roundup, Iron Dames have pulled out of the World Endurance Championship after 5 seasons.
Boo.
Yeah, the all-female team has competed in WEC since 2021. They've confirmed that it is not submitting an application to join the LMGT3 class for 2026. It's allegedly a strategic decision, but if you've been watching the Elizabeth Harris show, tuning in, you will know that DC Racing Solutions, the company that owns Iron Dames, Iron Lynx, and Prema Racing, is facing some significant financial issues, which is perhaps a more likely explanation. That's a big loss for the endurance racing community. I think I've seen a lot of people pointing out that the Iron Dames were a very instantly recognizable brand. They were easy for people to root for. If you've been to any race for the World Endurance Championship and even IMSA for their significant events, most of the merch is Iron Dames merch. There are people everywhere who love this. It's like if you go to like the Rolex 24, it's like Iron Dames merch and AO Racing merch, and like there's really no in between unless you really, really care about endurance
Yeah,
racing.
the hot pink is recognizable for sure.
Yeah. So it is a disappointment, especially because it was a great way to have a full female lineup, displaying talents, and it just sucks now.
Lame. Yeah, it just...
Yeah.
I was going to go into a whole conversation about women in motorsports and the financial... We need rich-ass women. Take your mommy's money or your daddy's money or your own money and just spend it on women race teams, okay? Thank you for your time.
Can we get Dolly Parton on this? This feels like a thing that we could convince her to do.
How much money do we think Dolly Parton has?
I don't know. She's got money.
To be fair, she's a little busy providing reading material to children of all ages across the United States, which I
Yeah,
think...
I don't care. Put it in a fund. Give it to me. I'll be in charge of the distribution. Easy peasy, girl. I got you.
W. Dolly Parton.
Yeah. Dolly Racing. I love it.
Dolly Racing. Ooh, Mackenzie Scott, but it's probably not environmentally friendly enough for her.
Mackenzie Scott Formula E team.
Or, yet again, she can just, like, fund Elizabeth. And then all of a sudden Elizabeth's like, I have all this money.
Exactly.
I'm helping support the continuation of the Iron Dames program. She doesn't say where it's
do
from.
it.
Open up like a Delaware LLC or whatever people do to like hide. Cayman
This is
Islands.
nobody. I'm starting a religion. Okay, my religion is you give me money and then I use it for race car.
Amen. Let's go into the Grand Prix that we had this weekend that started some stuff. And
Yeah,
what a day.
Qatar, baby, penultimate race of the season, and we're still not done getting chaotic. So we didn't do a show after Las Vegas. Both of the McLarens were disqualified following that race. So we went into Qatar with Max Verstappen and Oscar Piastri tied 24 points behind Lando Norris. Yes.
Can we talk about their disqualification real quick?
Sure.
Because people are like, how did this happen? And if we the same thing didn't happen to Ferrari many moons ago. So it happens to the best of everyone. And when you're running on a certain setup and you just got it wrong or whatnot, and you're always running on the edge of the limits of every time.
We're talking about extremely fine margins, like extremely fine margins. If you like look at a ruler and analyze exactly how large the wear was on the McLaren that caused it to flunk tech, it's like nothing. Like I know that we're like these Formula One teams, they should know everything, but I do fear that occasionally shit happens.
Yeah, McLaren pushed the limits. Track wasn't suited to their car, and they screwed up. It happens. Yeah, absolutely. And again, it happened to Ferrari. This is my confusion about how people consume Formula One. So, like, when this happened to McLaren, to me, I was like, oh, that's exactly what we're all talking about here right now. But so many people were like, I've never seen this. And I was like, no, this literally happened.
It happened this year. It happened this year.
Do you
it
not
happened,
know? Do you only follow
not the
what
year
happens
before,
to
but
your
like
specific team?
2023. Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton both disqualified from the U.S. Grand Prix for the exact same thing, and they were on different teams at that point. It was two different
That's a lot
teams
of years
screwed up.
ago. I was like a different person back then. We're not going to talk about history.
But still,
Talking about even the beginning of this year, mid to beginning of this year. So I guess I maybe people, and please answer in the comments or just let me know on Instagram or in the Discord. Like, do you only follow your team, and then you don't see what happens afterwards to anyone else?
I'm trying to understand, folks. Let me know. Let us know.
I think the reason I sound so judgy right now is because that blows my mind. It's not wrong. If you want to consume the sport that way, I don't give a shit. Thank you for watching. It's just.
But I feel like if you're gonna have a hot take, and you're gonna be like, I've never seen this before, and it happened this year. How much seeing are you doing?
Well, it happens after the race. Some people don't read the FIA documents, right? Because it's always like no.
Yeah, but
we'll deal with after.
where did we go right after China? We went to was it like Bahrain? We went to Bahrain and we talked about it the next weekend.
Maybe they literally tune in for the race on ESPN that doesn't have a pre-race show or anything. Watch it, close it, call it a day, and they see McLaren.
Everyone, all these people are doing this. All these people, all these British people, all these European people.
Oh, that's true. We actually don't know where these people are watching from. That'd be interesting to denote, but it's not like I can find that out easily.
Anytime you see a hot take, just ask, where are you from? Explain yourself.
Before I engage with this, where are you from?
Can you take this survey to let me know what I need to know before I start telling you you're wrong?
Yeah. So yeah, nothing new for McLaren there. But then we had this race.
Yeah. It was a sprint weekend, so let's just touch on that real quick.
I forgot.
It sucked. It was boring. Piastri won from pole. Russell started from P2 and held it to the end, despite a very early challenge from Lando Norris. Led into Grand Prix qualifying pretty well because it was Piastri taking another pole position and Lando Norris alongside him. So that was the sprint. That was about as much detail as there really was about that whole 19-lap race. But we led into the Grand Prix Sunday, and we had yet another legendary McLaren fumble that leads to a Max Verstappen victory. Piastri got a great start. Lando Norris lost positions, but 7 laps into the race, a collision between Nico Hülkenberg and Pierre Gasly brought out a safety car that changed things. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, I know he said Norris lost positions, but where he was, I think it was like kind of bound to happen. I think he had a good start, but the dirty air where Max was, I just want to give Norris. I feel like
give him
sometimes we
credit.
brought on him a little too much. We also got to compliment him from time to time. So that's what I'm doing.
All right.
McLaren has not invited me
was
to
on
anywhere.
the-
This is hashtag not sponsored. Just making that up.
He was on the bad side of the track. Like, it was just a set up for a mess on that one. So we've got this safety car. Every single driver pits, except for McLaren. So suddenly we've got major strategic implications here, because this weekend there was a 25 lap max stint on the tires because there was a fear from Pirelli that they were going to wear too much and potentially explode, cause tire failures, etc. And we did see this with Isaac Hadjar at the very end of the race. His tire wore through and it fell apart, and that was out. So this meant that there would be at least a guaranteed 2 stops for every driver, which then means that McLaren did not pit. And so when it did pit, it would be pitting and coming back out right into traffic. Not necessarily the ideal situation. It kind of seemed like there was operational indecision at McLaren, or maybe assumptions that not every car was going to take that pit stop at the start of the race. Andrea Stella had a very interesting quote on Sky Sports. He said, "When you are the lead car, you don't know what the rest are going to do. That could have been a loss for Lando in case we double stacked," which a lot of folks are pointing at as like, they didn't do it for anyone because it would make Lando upset or like cause him problems. Yeah.
Hannah Schmitz, funny enough, said the opposite. And she's like, when you have an opportunity to pit under the safety car, you're going to take it.
Yeah.
She's like, that made sense to us. And we talked about beforehand, if this were to happen in this window, we're going to pit.
Yeah. Yeah. Zach Brown, Andrea Stella, they both admitted it was the wrong decision. But nevertheless, we persist. We got to keep freaking cooking. Piastri stuck it out in P2, but Lando Norris could only manage P4, and it looked like for a while it was going to be P5. He got up on the back of Kimi Antonelli. Kimi Antonelli, in these past couple races, has done a really great job holding off the competition behind him, but he made a mistake on the final lap that let Norris through. Now we have to take a little detour here because everyone hates Kimi Antonelli. Not everyone, but
Mentally
some
ill
folks
people.
said some mean things to Kimi. There became a scandal out of this because the broadcast did not immediately show that Kimi Antonelli made an error.
Mm-hmm.
So all we see is suddenly Lando Norris is by. F1 TV, the commentators hypothesized that it was a instruction to Antonelli to let him through, a kind of perhaps Mercedes engine.
You're not fighting him.
Yeah,
Let-
you're
let-
not
let
fighting
go,
him.
yeah.
He's a Mercedes engine car. He's fighting for the championship. You know, whatever. Move over. So it seemed like it was like an intentional. We gave this. GP, Max Verstappen's engineer, made the comment to Max. I think he was joking in his like dry sense of humor way.
Yes. I don't know what everyone's being crazy about. He's like, you just let him through. I see where you say that in the moment of like things. I'm not going to blame this man.
Yeah.
I also don't think what he said was a big deal. What is a big deal? Sorry, Elizabeth, you didn't finish yet. But people, you just need to, before you write anything on the internet, I need you all to shut the fuck up, okay? That includes me.
I was going to say, like, we got a replay of what happened. I can't remember if it was during the post-race show or if it was up to the podium. And so therefore I don't know who would have seen the replay of this, but I'm sure it was on Twitter. I'm sure it was on Blue Sky afterward. It did show that Kimi Antonelli made a mistake. He ran wide. Maybe he could have pulled back onto the track and tried to push back in front of Norris and make more of a thing of it, but I don't see why he would necessarily do that. He's just trying to still get a decent finishing position, not crash in the final lap of the race. But this all prompted Helmut Marko after the race. Helmut Marko is a special advisor for Red Bull Racing, does a lot of stuff for the junior team. Helmut Marko full on like slammed Kimi Antonelli and said that Kimi intentionally let Lando Norris through. This prompted a whole bunch of people to descend into the mentions of this sweet teenage boy, to send him death threats and other terrible hate, to say that, like, why would you do that? Why would you screw this up? And Red Bull were forced to give an apology afterward, because Mercedes was like, hey, our like system we use to detect online hate has detected thousands of messages of like terrible things towards Kimi. And the FIA has that like we stand against online hate, so now we have to fucking address this.
Stand against online hate. Let me, you gotta
It's
have that
stand
word in.
against. I'm sorry. I love online hate. Yeah, complete like compounding disaster, kind of through and through.
How do I say this? Nothing that was said is anywhere crossing the line. That's going to be my hot take. The number of times in all sports and in Formula One, team principals have shit-talked, been like, oh yeah, he let him through, or he crashed on me on purpose, or he says my car sucks, well, Checo said this. Like, everyone does this, okay? For some reason, people took this, I don't know what it is. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened with this. I don't know why people took this like Kimi Antonelli thing. Shit happens every single race weekend where someone says, and if you guys look at other comments, I'm not saying Helmut Marko is, obviously, he's not the...
Helmut Marko is a hot take merchant, and I thought we stopped listening to him a while ago.
People are saying, like, he threw Kimi Antonelli on the bus, which you are correct, but sorry, how am I don't want to be like, oh, it's okay because he does it all the time. To me, it's like a sports thing. The number of time, like, Aaron Judge, like, jokes that, like, the Red Sox are doing steroids, or, like, something. It doesn't mean he actually thinks the Red Sox are doing steroids. And the number of time we shit talk the Astros ever since they cheated, and people are like, oh, make sure they're not banging trash cans over there, and say it on the broadcast and accusing them of cheating in some way and, like, referencing that, or Deflategate, or all this other stuff that happens in sports. And then Helmut Marko does a little bit of shit talking. Whatever. He's an idiot. That happens all the time. He shit talks on this fucking newspaper, whoever keeps talking to him. Stop talking to him. And then Ryan GP said that thing as a joke in my, like, oh, he looks like he let him through, like, blah, 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 blah. He, like, we don't see any replay. I don't know what happened. He's through now after battling him for X number of laps. None of this is a big deal. But I don't know how people just took this all and ran with it. Why are you sending death threats to a 19-year-old? First of all, why are you sending death threats to anyone? One.
To a little baby boy.
Two, why are you sending death threats to anyone? Two, why are you sending death threats to athletes? Over, like, what? What did Kimi Antonelli even do wrong? He went wide, shit happens, then we move on.
It's not that deep. I like what Kamikaze says. I think it's because a championship... Oh, where'd it go? I've lost him. Championship implications, people go crazy with Latifi dropping off the face of the earth in 2021 after Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, that's a great example. Thank you. That is, like, people make mistakes. And, like, sure, we joke about it here, but I'm not going to, like, tell Latifi to, like, eat a Smith & Wesson. Like, people are insane.
It would have been less of a thing if F1 TV direction showed the mistake faster. I think, sure, but it's the last lap of the race. I think we're trying to cover the end of the race, drivers crossing the finish line, sorting out different things that need to be, like, the timing and scoring, etc., etc. Like, it's just not, there's nowhere in that time to, like, go back, find the replay, and then air it. Like, we're trying to get through the interviews, the conversation, the post-race debrief, and the swap over from the standard commentators to the post-race show.
Did Marco add fuel to the fire? Yeah, but they all do that all the time. Constantly. Max Verstappen's talking about how if he was in the McLaren, he would have won the championship by now. Therefore, insinuating that Lando Norris and Piastri suck.
This is the thing, is, like, I wish I could see these people who took this as gospel and go and see how many times they've said, Helmut Marko, you're an idiot, you're wrong about XYZ thing, when it's about a driver they like.
This sport. Like, clearly we knew afterwards that it was a mistake on Kimi's part, and Helmut Marko is just talking out of his butt like a turtle. And then, but, like, then the people who were like, didn't see that, or, like, choose to believe him, And then send death threats. There's so many things we need to dissect about this, and one of them is, I think because this is such a global sport, and like this really like we find all kinds of crazies on all corners of the internet with people being like, oh, blah, 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 blah. People just run with it. We don't take a second. It's just too many people to, I don't know, think clearly.
Well, you have the problem then of like, some people have a dry sense of humor, which is not going to translate. So you're interpreting this as a fact, not like GP like making a joke. People are saying, oh, GP's telling him this because he believes it's true. You have people who respond differently to things. The British losing their minds when people boo Lando Norris because they can't conceive of why they would do this. But like, that's a cultural thing in other parts of the world that is totally acceptable. So it becomes like a scandal that gets heated up because you've got like, I respond to sport in XYZ way and you're doing it in ABC way, which clearly means you are wrong. That's not how it goes, but no one is taking the time to just like step back and think about things for a second.
No one like, hey, Helmet, you're wrong. Also, why didn't the news report, the guy who was interviewing Helmut Marko, be like, that's incorrect, actually?
See, yeah, this is part of my thing, too, is I think there's a lot of issues with the motorsport media that ends up complicit in this, because when you get the quote from Helmut, right, that's a spicy quote, and I'm going to run it. You're going to just, like, why are we not contextualizing this if you're going to run it with, but that's not what happened?
I think they did, in, like, the way they wrote it. Maybe?
But no one's, again, you have to like beat the audience over the head with that, because that's going to be the thing that people take.
Sorry, and the quote that was copy and pasted in my Discord, it takes a little bit to get there.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what
you just
saying.
read the hot take, and then the hot take merchants on the internet pick that, pull that quote out, and then like share that. Like, okay, there was that spat between George Russell and Lando Norris in the media pen. Did you see this?
That was a joke, though, right? That was their sense of humor.
I think they were genuinely annoyed at each other, but I think they got over it. The thing is that when people clipped it, they clipped the part where they were mad at each other and not the part where they were getting over it. Where George was like, oh yeah, maybe the media was just making something up or whatever. Like maybe it was just that one person who said this.
Yeah. I'm starting to know Norris is sick of it because because of where he is now, he's constantly getting kind of shit from everywhere. So he's like, oh, something else I got to deal with.
Yeah. I thought you were better than to believe that, you know, like this kind of genuine annoyance, I think, on his part, genuine annoyance, I think, on George Russell's part. They talked it over and they got it sorted out. But we don't see this sorting out part because it's not the fun part or the interesting part. We see the spat that they had. And this is the same thing with a Helmut Marko quote. You don't see, like, you get a spicy quote, you're just going to publish that in a little graphic and move on with your life. When, like, there's no consideration of, like, does this contribute? Is this an interesting, relevant fact about a thing that legitimately happened? Or is this just, like, we've immediately disproved that this even happened?
What we're talking about is a series of events that occurred. And, like, yeah, all of this is, like, whatever. What blows my mind is that people just started sending him death threats. I feel like that's the biggest
How do you
thing
get from point A to point Z?
How do you get from Helmut Marko lying? And people clearly seeing the replay. And the journalists obviously should have been like, excuse me, Dr. Marko, that's not what happened. Written it in the article.
Part of the thing I also want to point out here is it is entirely possible that the journalist speaking to him did not know what happened. Because I will say, as someone who sits in the media pen to get post-race interviews, you don't have audio. You have some video, but you've just got usually ATV that is usually covered by other members of the media. You're trying to parse out what's happening. And as soon as that checkered flag flies, you have people coming in there. You are paying attention to say, I need to get Carlos Sainz. Like, I need to get Alex Albon. We've got Lance Stroll coming up, and I got to focus on that. And you don't see the replay. So you go to talk to Helmut Marko, you know, half hour after the race. It's entirely possible they had no idea. So they may not have had any, they may not have known that they needed to correct him or say, hey, that's actually incorrect. Like, there is something more there. Like, I know that it's frustrating, but you're usually trying to be able to, that's when you send that quote and you like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what, after you've collected that quote, yes, you absolutely should be fact checking that against what actually happened, and making sure of that. And then knowing like, okay, well, I didn't know that Kimi Antonelli actually just had a problem and I assumed he pulled over, but now it's not relevant. So this quote's not relevant. So this whole story's not relevant. So therefore I'm not going to run it. But also, again, you've got probably 4 or 5 journalists who are going to be around Helmut Marko talking to him after the race that all have that exact same quote. And if you don't run it
first, yeah,
you're not getting it.
Kamikaze says, I feel like there's also a difference between not knowing the facts of the situation and ignoring the facts. Yeah, I genuinely agree that Helmut Marko was starting shit. I do not deny that. I genuinely think he was like, oh, this, because he says this is like the second time he's waved him by in a race, and then he hits Max Verstappen or like gets to the ass of Max Verstappen in like in Austria, whatever he said. And I was like, that sounds like Helmut Marko just starting shit to me.
Yeah.
I don't think he was telling everyone to go send him death threats. It just sounded him like a dude just starting shit.
Stirring the pot.
Yeah, it sounded just him stirring the hate cauldron, if I can bring some IndyCar into this. And to me, I was like, in the United States, that makes sense. I was like, he saw an opportunity to get in there mentally and take it. And then I don't know where that went. See, okay, and then people are like, oh, that gave permission to fans. And I was like, if that gave permission to fans, we need to all take another online course of why we think that's okay to do that.
Yeah, that's just like saying she asked for it.
We're taking the responsibility away from the people who typed in those things to Kimmy.
Yeah. That's where it should have come to a halt. I don't care how much ammo, fodder, justification you had, it's still not an appropriate behavior.
Did he instigate? Yes. But I feel like, yes, that's what they do. Zach Brown has instigated many times.
It's the mind game part of the freaking Formula One. That's just what happens.
And then people are like, this wasn't a real apology. And I'm like, yeah, because they have nothing to apologize for.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to blame the people who watch Formula One and spend money on Formula One. No one's going to ban you assholes from the track because you spend money there. This is where the awkward comes in, where I hated that online abuse fucking message the FIA posted. It's like they always are so reactive. Be like, you have all these AI partnerships and you can't do shit about this? 2, start banning people. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You can actually have some actual items here. And it's like, I guess. I got annoyed at that message because it's just like, what? Oh, yeah, we ended online abuse. Look at that. Be like, no, either you start, like Mercedes had some actual items. They're like, report, block, do this, like, let us know. Like, we've got names. We're doing something about it. And I'm like, okay, the FIA now has to follow up and be like, we're banning, especially people at the racetrack who do crazy shit. Ban them. Don't let them buy tickets. Stop letting them interact with the sport.
Yeah.
And you just, like, hard to do, blah, blah, blah. I think it's very clear if your account says you should kill yourself, you should therefore be banned.
You're done.
I'm not saying this is perfect, right? This is going to take work. This is 100% going to take work. This is going to take meeting of the minds. But they have Perplexity, fucking Google. Like, you're telling me you can't sit with these sponsors that pay for Formula One and be like, hey, let's take this seriously. Let's talk about it. Do a segment on on each F1 race weekend or every other race weekend. Be like, hey, by the way, don't be fucking stupid and go comment, because that's one interaction. That's clicks. They don't want to tell you not to do that. They're just going to be like, oh, bad you. So this is just as much as on them between doing this fake BS. Helmut would Briatore any of the 3 other Red Bulls this weekend if he got the chance.
Yeah.
Yes. Sportsmanship in the F1 fandom is dead. I think we all understood, or like the rational side of us understood, that Kimi should not be getting these kind of messages.
Yeah.
So then you're trying to find something to blame. And I understand that he did stoke the fire. The replay wasn't fast enough. GP said something in the moment. And we're all looking for things to blame as human beings. And it's just so hard for us to just grasp that some people are just shitty.
Yeah. Some people just freaking suck. Some people are just looking for an excuse to send someone something mean. Doesn't matter who it is.
Look at every single Helmut Marko interview of every single race weekend. And not even his. Okay, I keep saying Helmut Marko like that's an excuse, which is not, because he's absolutely terrible. And there's been many of things they should have apologized for, like racist Checo remarks, and then insinuating that Angela Cullen's giving Lewis Hamilton drugs, which somehow we haven't touched. Since that's happened, we've just let that one go when it happened. And I was like, FIA, where are you then? Yeah, definitely, but like, when you watch the TPs and like look at all their stuff, see how many of them say dumb shit, just like, oh, like he was just playing games with us, or like blah 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 blah, or like the Red Bull guy who moved the tape or like got in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Like, guys, we're doing shit all the time.
The efforts at getting a psychological advantage are constant.
Huge.
They are a barrage. They're going to happen all the time.
What do they say? They're constantly saying that, like, oh, Lando Norris, like, he's just whining. Or, like, George Russell, like, people will complain that, oh, he's just whining. He's just being George because you know how uptight he is. They say shit like that all the time.
Yeah.
No one's threatening to kill anyone. It's crazy. I can't. People are insane.
They are. Wanna know what else was insane? Carlos Sainz podium, baby.
Hell yeah. I like his grab to the camera.
I know, he's so good. And, like, the leap into his crew afterward, I don't know if you saw, like, the overhead shots of it, but, like, the Red Bull team was all applauding him as he went through.
Yeah.
It was really cute.
Hannah was really happy for him, Amy Schmitz.
Yeah.
That was cute.
Sainz qualified 7th, so he did a great job at the start, and through strategy, he was able to get by both of the Mercedes. So he found himself in 3rd place. We had all of the chaos with McLaren and their pit stops that put Lando behind him. It was a legitimately impressive performance, because when Williams was asked, like, what do you think your worst tracks are going to be this season? Qatar was one of them. They assumed that, you know, this is a high downforce track. They're usually not great there. So they were like, no expectations. We think we're not going to be in the points. So to get a podium is a very, very strong performance. So good on them.
We won.
They killed it.
Yeah. I like the infographic someone showed that Sainz joining the team bumps the performance of the team. Oh, yeah.
So funny.
That was good.
Yeah. So
I don't know if there's
for
correlation
him.
causation there, but I do enjoy that graphic.
This is a good one. And then Ferrari. Boy, it's looking bad out there. This is like, we're 2 weeks after Chairman John Elkann told the drivers to stop complaining to media and focus on their driving. Somehow in that period, the SF25 has gotten even worse to drive. So maybe he should stop talking to media and tell Ferrari to make the car not suck so bad. Lewis Hamilton was eliminated in Q1 in both Vegas and Qatar. Vegas was the first time in his career that he qualified dead last in Grand Prix qualifying when he set a lap time. So, not great. In Qatar, he managed to finish 12th, but even that was kind of a miracle that was somewhat handed to him, thanks to the Hülkenberg and Gasly collision, as well as Isaac Hadjar's late race tire fall off. Same thing with Charles Leclerc. He finished 8th, but again, had it not been for that other chaos that went on within the top 10, potentially did not. It might not have happened if that hadn't been the case. So it's looking pretty brutal for those fellas.
Yeah, that's try. Next year's your year, boys. Ferrari 2026. Let's go.
You'd hope. Please.
What's that movie where he's like, reset the counter, and then there's Rock'em Sock'em robots fighting the kaijus? That's what I feel like we're doing every single time, every year for Ferrari. Reset the counter.
Don't worry, boys. You got it next year.
You got it next year. Pacific Rim. Oh, what a great movie. I love that movie.
Yeah. So that was Qatar. It was an event, and now we're heading into the finale this weekend, which is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Yes.
So just to clarify McLaren's mistake, is it because they were trying to treat both drivers fairly, as in because of the double stack, Lando would have lost positions? If they would have alternated, someone would have came out on bottom. So they essentially screwed over both in a way? Not purposely, but to keep it fair.
I don't think they really wanted to talk exactly about what the logic there was, but I do think that was a significant part of it, was that they were like, we don't want to prioritize one driver. Someone is going to get screwed over. And I do think that they were under the impression that not everyone would pit, so that they would, when they filtered back out into traffic, they wouldn't be the only ones who had hopped on that strategy. So they wouldn't have been quite as far back in the pack and had as many cars to battle through as they did. With the strategy and the way that the tire situation was, it just seemed like they caught him off guard, or caught McLaren off guard. I don't know. It was not great. So we just ended up with both drivers doing a stinky.
There was a quote that someone sent to me that Zach Brown did an interview. He's sitting in the McLaren Technology Center, and he's saying, if he beats us, I want him to be because of him, not because of something we did. And it's happening on both sides, Zach. It's stuff you're doing, stuff Verstappen's doing, and you're getting it from both sides. You have not helped yourself. It's
Someone
really
asked Max in the media pen after the race, where they were like, is this another instance where like McLaren has just gifted you? And he was like, yeah, it happened again. Just a disaster.
My favorite new emoji in our Discord is him with the Las Vegas glasses, the pink ones.
So funny.
That's so good.
Those glasses were so funny.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's just like super comfortable with himself, because like he like locked. He was like a little shit when he was a kid. Everyone was there. He was tough. He was a competitor. And now, I mean, some people might still think he's a little shit, but now he's a lot more chill.
I think he's proved to himself and to everyone else what he needed to prove.
Yeah.
And so now he can kind of relax a little bit and like have a little fun. Plus, it's also, I think it's pissing off McLaren that he is just like having a blast. Like this, he's not even trying to win the championship, and he's doing it, or at least getting closer to doing it.
Imagine just being so good at something,
Girl.
Just like that good. Like Michael Phelps, they say he's quote unquote built for swimming because of like the way his shoulder, something about his shoulders or his like span of his arms, something like that.
Yeah.
Biologically, imagine being just Max Verstappen and just so good at racing.
I know.
It's gotta feel
you
good.
know you can get the like worst car on the grid and still be the fastest guy there. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's what I was surprised. Like this didn't come sooner. I guess he just wanted 4 or 3. I don't know what he was waiting for, or like what clicked, the difference of like having a good time. But I
think there's less of the responsibility, I think, this year, because a lot of people did write off Red Bull.
Sure.
Like halfway through the year. So it was like, we don't think he's going to win another race. We don't think the team is capable of bringing a car that's going to work for anyone. Which just enables you to go out and like turn laps and see what happens. And it turns out that actually like, I don't know. No one's expectation for Max this year was that he was going to win a championship after the first few races. So now it's like, if it happens, that's pretty sick. And I did it while also not being like 200% locked in.
yeah, must be nice.
Must be nice.
Let's talk about Abu Dhabi.
Sounds like our dad should have left us at gas stations more, huh?
Agreed.
So, coming into Abu Dhabi, season finale, we have a 3-way title decider for the Drivers' Championship. And I saw this fun fact. The last 5 times that 3 drivers entered the season finale with a shot at winning the championship, the driver leading the championship going into that race did not actually take the title. So, I will be interested to see if this is going to be different, if 2025 will buck the trend, or if we will continue to have that happen.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. It's, I mean, you have championship permutations next in our notes, but yeah, Norris has a very high chance of winning. I mean, it's just really his and McLaren's to lose.
Yeah.
There's no reason he shouldn't win the championship. It's insane.
I was going to say, if it does not happen, like something else has happened. Yes.
Talk about stirring the pot. The number of like F1 videos I've seen from people who are either calling themselves F1 content creators with semi-decent followings, I would say, and then just like random fans being like, suspicious that like the FIA probably told McLaren blah 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 to the championship down to Abu Dhabi, and like, sure, I understand it's a joke, but then like it stirs things in the comment section.
Yeah.
Again, this is such like a global sport, and I feel like we always misread each other globally, especially like the way people talk and like joke and stuff. But like, whose responsibility is that? Because that's a funny TikTok, and like they were just joking, but then like people are reading into it, and then people are debating in the comments, and people are calling each other names in the comments. You're like, I didn't mean to do that. And like Helen Marker was just stirring shit. How responsible is he? Then all team principals responsible, because then it becomes a whole discussion. Be like, is Taylor Swift responsible for her fans when she says something? Like a little bit, but also like she can't control everybody. If she tells them not to, they're still gonna go do it.
Yeah.
This is a very complicated conversation, And I'm not saying
I think it follows in line with the sheer amount as Neomancer says of like we've had the accusations that McLaren is picking favorites this year.
Yes.
So it's all season long we've had feelings, and I mean even the attempt at fairness is race manipulation. It's benign race manipulation, but it's still race manipulation. So I think that there's a lot of people who are like, well, if that's going to happen, then like maybe they just did tell them to do X, Y, Z.
And this is where I think if we had, maybe not in the United States, I don't know if it was the United States, but like a main, like if F1 had a show, maybe not Stephen A. Smith style, it's a little bit too American, it's a little too intense, but like have your analysts talk like you do with like your footy.
Yeah.
And like talk about things and like make that like a main part of the show. I guess they do before the F1 race, but how many people watch that? This is a whole conversation. Sorry. Continue. Anyway, championship permutations.
Yes. So this is from Jeppe. If Lando Norris finishes ahead of Verstappen and Piastri in any position on the track, he wins the title. If Lando Norris finishes on the podium at all, does not matter where anyone else finishes, he wins the title.
Yeah.
If Max Verstappen wins the Abu Dhabi race, Lando Norris must finish 4th or lower for Verstappen to get the title. And if Piastri wins the race, then Lando Norris has to finish P6 or lower for Piastri to be champion. So we've got a lot of different combinations and permutations. Statistically, Lando Norris is ahead. People are assuming that he's just going to be the guy to do it because he's got the best chance. But there's, as we've seen this season, shit can happen.
Two sliders says this begins to be like some FanDuel halftime prop bet commercial. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of money into this with the bets for sure. If who's winning.
Yeah. So if you want to tune in to the sessions on Friday, FP1 4:30 a.m. Eastern, for FP2 8 a.m. Eastern, on Saturday FP3 5:30 a.m. Eastern. Qualifying 9 a.m. Eastern, and Sunday 8 a.m. Eastern is the race. So,
and I will be live. Oh, Elizabeth, are you doing any? Do you want to join the live, or do you want to just watch it on your own? Chilly.
I think we'll watch it on my own if you don't mind.
No, that's fine.
While
I just want to ask.
Been enjoying the ability to just like lay down and like lay on the couch and watch it. It's been pretty nice.
Felt
so.
Sunday 8 a.m. Eastern chat. I'll be here probably a little earlier, obviously, to get everything set up, but
or 8:15, you roll up late like my ass did today.
Here's the thing. I'm assessing how I feel as I say this. I remember for 2021, which I'm not talking about Abu Dhabi. That was a whole shit show, and rules were not followed and all that thing. Okay, I don't want to get into that currently. It's a whole other fucking shit. Going into it, though, I was excited because you have two incredible, talented, passionate drivers. Anyone can take it, right? And I'm like, yes, this is going to be good. Here, I'm like, someone's gonna make a mistake.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I don't think it's gonna be like a three-way passionate, the best of the best. Does that make sense?
Yes. I think part of it was in 2021, Lewis and Max were tied on points, so it was a matter of like whoever finishes better on the track. Doesn't matter where, but whoever finishes better.
And I was just like so stoked. I was like, this is gonna be a show. I mean, not like we didn't expect that to happen. But we expected like a drive-off between two of the most incredible drivers we've ever had to witness, with the two most incredible cars we have ever got to see up until then. Mm-hmm. And I think we were so excited.
But now what we have is like, we had a dominant driver for most of the season.
Yeah.
That was Oscar Piastri. And then McLaren either held him back by trying to level
these
his playing
rules,
field with
right?
Lando
Like,
Norris.
oh, let him through, well, blah blah blah. It's kind of like,
and this is a situation where it's like, if then Piastri makes a mistake, that leaves it open for Lando. If Lando makes a mistake, that left it open for Oscar. They both make a mistake. Suddenly, Max Verstappen is there to pick up the pieces. So it feels more of like less that you've earned the championship and more that you've fumbled less than everyone else.
Yeah,
and therefore won.
Yeah, I will still watch, and I'll still be like, oh.
I'm going to watch, I'm going to be mad. I know that for a fact.
You think something's going to happen? I genuinely think
I don't know that even anything's going to happen. I just know that I'm going to be mad.
I do genuinely think, though, that if it comes down to it, like let's say Oscar's ahead of Lando, like, Lando's P4, Oscar's P3, and Max's P1, they're going to ask Oscar to move over so Lando can get the championship to get that podium.
And I don't think that Oscar should.
That would be
think
fucking
he
awesome. But he's going to. Because you don't want to be that person in future teams to be like, yeah, hire me. You know?
You can be a team player or you can be an asshole. And there's value to both of those things.
I love that guy.
If you want a driver who's going to kick and scream his way to the championship, like, people look up to Max Verstappen. They respect Max Verstappen because Max Verstappen is you're never going to tell him move over for someone else and have him do it.
Yeah.
It might frustrate the team, but you also know that you have a quality driver who is going to give his 110% all to getting a victory. You look at Oscar, you can say, yeah, he's a team player, sure, but by doing so, he's almost putting himself into the role of the second driver, if that makes sense. Like, he's just assuming that he's showing he can be pushed around and commanded, and that he can give up a victory or give up a higher finishing position.
This isn't like a
because
team
he's told.
sport? Should we not have?
It is a team sport, but I do think you need to have a hungry driver.
Yeah, but Piastri's not going to win, right? If that happens in that case. So it's like, why not just let your boy through so McLaren can have the constructors and one of you has the drivers?
My radio stopped working. Sorry.
Yeah, she wants Cutthroat, but then they're not going to prioritize you next year, right? They're going to make it a little bit more difficult. Or,
yeah, but if that's going to be the case, I'd rather kick and scream my way to the front and prove that they have to prioritize me than be prioritized. You know what I mean?
Because Mark Webber said not to. What do we think Mark Webber's doing? I like that meme of Peter Griffin and McLaren be like, I just want to talk to him. I just got to say a few words. Mark Webber right now, McLaren. I wonder what he's going through his head. No, I think he played it safe. He's so young. He's got a whole career ahead of him. You don't want to be an asshole just yet. Even though I think he would be justified.
Yeah. I'd be an asshole. I was good all season. You want me to move over now? Get fucked. We won the Constructors' Championship. We won the money. You didn't make the right calls
Also, this
to
could
win
have
the
been
Drivers'
settled.
Championship.
Moons ago.
Yes. Again, if you want to not prioritize a driver and let us battle it out on the track, let us battle it out on the track. Tell Lando to get fucking past
that'd
me.
be hilarious.
Yeah.
The
If he
fire
wants to
rules.
pass, tell him to tell him to do it.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's my perspective. I ain't fucking playing by the rules. Actually, I am playing by the rules. I'm playing by we don't prioritize one driver or another.
I had a good question in the Discord for Drivers' Championship. What's the amount of money? So would Oscar lose an amount of money from P4 to P3? Like if he switched, like if he was P3 and he switched to P4, would he lose X amount of money? So I think it's determined, if I'm not mistaken, by team on bonuses, sponsorship stuff at that point.
That's per contract, yeah.
Per contract. So the winner, forget about it. But everyone else is per contract still and stuff. So potentially, yeah, if he has a contract that you get $10,000 less if you are P4 and the P3, yes, he does lose out on money technically. But McLaren might be like, hey, if you do it, like we'll pay you out the full P3 as opposed to the P4. Like they can figure something out on their end.
Yeah. But also, if I'm Oscar Piastri, I could have had the P1 and been a World Drivers' Championship by now if they had not been consistently trying to make this a level playing field.
How many races before it's close do you begin to let someone win? Where's the line? And when do you disagree? I don't like it. But you're like a team. In my head, there's two drivers and a team. And yeah, if it was between Oscar and Lando, which like it kind of is, depending how it plays out. But let's say it's, again, Max is P1. If he wins and Piastri's P3 and Lando's P4, like, I think you got to do it. I think he doesn't.
I think you do. I just don't think you should.
Yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying, but I think he doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't think a lawyer would agree to a bonus structure based on helping your team, which is fuzzy versus bonus based on an outright finishing position. Why not? There's something they could slide in there. Like, trust me. Like, yeah. I was like, how do I say this without saying this?
A Formula One contract is a malleable thing.
Yes. I'm not saying they agree on it beforehand. As in, like, this is written in the contract already. As in, McLaren will be like, hey.
After the fact. Like,
after the
pat
fact.
on the back. You did good.
Right
kid.
when the back in the factory celebrating.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
NFL teams pay out for players being close to incentives all the time. Yeah, but so do F1 teams and sponsors. Wow, the sponsor suddenly wants Piastri to be in a campaign for an additional 10 grand. How interesting that is.
What a shock. What a surprise.
What a shock that they had an extra budget there laying around. Crazy. So tune in Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern for the race. I will be live doing a watch along. If you'd like to join. But chat, I know if you're still interested only in Formula One, I urge you to stay on and listening because we're going to talk about the NASCAR lawsuit real quick because it's hilarious and spicy.
Yes.
So Elizabeth, take it away here.
All right, baby. It's December 1st started the actual in-court NASCAR lawsuit proceedings. If you need a refresher, this is two teams, 2311 and Front Row Motorsports, are alleging that NASCAR operates as a monopoly and therefore just all chaos with the charter agreements that go on, etc., etc. So at the time of recording, I did not look to see if I had any further information about what happened in court today because I was napping. But jury selection took place yesterday, and so did the first hour of Denny Hamlin's testimony. That testimony continued and likely finished today, and will further testimonies going on throughout the week. If you want play-by-plays, you want updates, Jordan Bianchi and Jeff Gluck at The Athletic are doing not only at The Athletic, like recaps of every day, but they're also they have a show called The Teardown. They go live on Dirty Mo Media, the podcast network. I was listening to that last night. Fantastic play-by-play of what happened in the courtroom yesterday. You are going to, like, if you want the details and you want the information, that's a fantastic place to go. So just to kind of sum up what we learned today, we had some fabulous moments from the jury selection. 3 potential jurors were dismissed for being Michael Jordan fans, and one guy said, "I like Mike," while another pointed and winked at Michael Jordan as he left the courtroom, and apparently Michael Jordan got a big kick out of that, thought that was so funny. Yes.
I think it's crazy that people are I've seen some confusion on Twitter. People are like, "Oh, there's no way they got an unbiased jury who like didn't know NASCAR." And that's not what an unbiased jury is. But also, I think you all wholly overestimate how popular NASCAR is.
Yeah. As they said here, and so Jeff Gluck talked about this, only 3 of the 23 potential jurors said they had heard of this case, right? 3 out of 23 people. Only 3 of 19 said they were race fans, and one of those was explicitly and exclusively an NHRA fan. We still don't, like, it's still not, you know what I mean? It's still not, like, a big global phenomenon. It's NASCAR. And
the only reason this has gotten press on ESPN is because of Michael Jordan.
Yes. And talking about this, we'll talk about this in just a second, but, like, as Jeff Gluck and Jordan Bianchi pointed out, seemed like the jurors had no fucking idea what was going on during Denny Hamlin's testimony in terms of, like, how does the playoff system work? What is a charter? What does any of this mean? So we're talking about kind of insider baseball stuff that even if you are aware of what NASCAR is and know that you live in the heart of NASCAR country, you probably are, like, still pretty confused on how it all works.
Yeah, people on Reddit will complain about driving in Charlotte, North Carolina, which I know we've talked about in this podcast a little bit and what I have experienced. But then I always see a comment that goes, "Oh, it's because we're a NASCAR country." And I was like, you don't understand. There's none of that reasoning.
Yeah.
No one cares. No one's watching it. I know many people from Charlotte, North Carolina at work. They have no idea. The one guy is like, "Oh, Michael Jordan is suing someone in sports," not realizing it was NASCAR. I had to explain the whole thing to him. But yeah. Anyway.
And one juror who did make it onto the panel said that his hobby was heavy drinking. They asked if that will impair his judgment during the trial. He said no. They said, "All right, buddy, let's do it." Fabulous work. We had opening statements yesterday. The judge in charge of this case is Judge Bell, and he is already annoyed. That is because both parties on both sides of this fence tried to use evidence and facts in their opening statements that had already been deemed inadmissible. So both, like, Judge Bell right off the bat, like, you guys are both pissing me off. You both are trying to sneak in some stuff here that I said you were not allowed to discuss in this case that was not going to be used as evidence. So basically, like, right off the bat, you guys are screwing this up. Jeffrey Kessler, who's representing the teams, apparently made a good impression on the jury, had some banter, some good back and forth. The focus of his argument that he will be making throughout this case is that NASCAR is operating as a monopoly because it owns the cars, tracks, etc. that constitute top-level stock car racing. So no one can do anything, can go anywhere, or compete in top-level stock car racing in any other format because NASCAR owns everything it takes to make that work. John Stevenson, who is representing NASCAR, delivered opening statements instead of NASCAR's standard lawyer, Christopher Yates. Why? That is because, one, Stevenson has a Southern accent, so he is speaking the language of the people who are in that jury panel, but also because he is a company lawyer and not an antitrust lawyer. NASCAR is trying to avoid the perception that it is dealing with an antitrust case. It does not want to be perceived as defending itself against being a monopoly. What John Stevenson argued in his opening statements, he portrayed NASCAR as a family business that gave the teams what they wanted in terms of the charter, paid out, delivered all of its promises in the previous 9 years of the charter agreement, and therefore the lawsuit is being framed as this kind of surprise, right? That came out of nowhere after 2 years of deliberations, and they're claiming that the teams had opportunities to make a case against this, to say that they didn't want to do things with NASCAR, and that they did not do so until now. So that's how we've got kind of both of the sides here positioning their arguments. Testimony began with Denny Hamlin. Judge Bell said at the start of this case, there's one person in each case kind of allowed to sit in the courtroom for the entire thing until they testify. So Judge Bell said that Hamlin and Curtis Polk from 2311 were not allowed to sit in on the trial until they testified. So both of those men will be going first. Denny Hamlin went yesterday and today, time of recording here, December 2nd. The first hour of Hamlin's testimony was largely centered on establishing the facts of the case, how he got started racing in NASCAR, which cued some tears from him, talking about his father getting him into the sport and supporting him because his father is very ill at the moment. They were discussing things like how the NASCAR championship format worked. And per Bianchi and Gluck in their teardown, seemed like the jurors were kind of glazing over and having a hard time grasping the contours of the playoff system and all of this stuff with NASCAR. So if you're wondering how you can possibly get an unbiased jury in this case, this is how. Because how many times on this show, as like people who watch NASCAR, have we been like, please someone explain the charters system to me, so in a way that makes sense. So trial continued today on Tuesday with Hamlin resuming his testimony. It will proceed there. The judge assumes it's going to be a 2-week trial. That means taking 2 weeks of time to get through all of the witnesses, get through all of the people that they want to cross-examine, and then give it over to the jury for deliberation. So possibly could be longer. They're expecting 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been interesting. They were trying to get like Hamlin on certain things about like, oh, you used to you spoke positively about this, and then he did mention, he's like, yeah, because every time I speak negatively, NASCAR gets on my ass, and I was like, this is so interesting. Does he not know that he should explain to the jury why his podcast is called such?
Yeah, exactly.
And why his podcast is called Actions Detrimental, and why other drivers have been fined in certain instances, and I think that would help a lot.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I'm excited to catch up on the teardown. Like, that's going to be, for me, appointment viewing. Yeah. Until this trial concludes, just because I thought they did a great job of summing it up. They went through chronologically of, like, here's what we... Not trying to take out any takeaways, just here's everything that happened as it happened. It was really good. I'm excited for what we're going to learn. There were some numbers dropped in the initial opening statements that were pretty huge. The millions of dollars that teams are spending. NASCAR claiming that teams made money, but the teams claiming that they only made money because they had Michael Jordan getting them sponsorship, and therefore that was like the only... If you ask any other team, they're not making money. Like FRM, they haven't made a single dollar in profit since they started 20 years ago, stuff like that. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
And back to the point that I always try to make every so often on this podcast if you can sign up for jury duty, and you have, I don't even know how to say the wherewithal to like kind of like listen and like make good assumptions and like do your own conclusions of like, okay, this side's obviously trying to convince me this thing. Like, if you can do that, I like implore you not to skip it if you can.
Yeah.
Because people need you. To Chap's point here, one lady was dismissed from jury duty because she's in charge of family Christmas this year. And let me pause. That's not the issue. The issue is, I believe what Chap's talking about, if not, this happened, where the jury was selected, and then a woman said something that turns out she can't.
She had school pickup that she needed
that's
to
a different
do.
woman. Another after the jury was selected, they asked them if there was anything. She like asked if she could leave early at certain times because she has school pickup.
Yeah.
Not mentioning that beforehand, so they had to call back the last juror and ask him questions again and be like, "Okay, you're dismissed, lady, and now this guy is part of it." Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's fine. Whatever excuses you have. But, like, I implore you, please, for the good of the people and the system.
Adam has asked, if someone tried to start a new stock car racing series, would they not get sued into oblivion, i.e. proof of monopoly? Part of the problem is that NASCAR owns so many of the tracks that they are not allowed to race on them unless you get NASCAR's permission.
I am monopoly.
The folks who run these teams are contracted often to only do so with NASCAR. The teams, the cars that currently exist, next-gen cars, are property of NASCAR that are being basically loaned out to the teams. NASCAR has proprietary agreements with a lot of suppliers, etc. So this is the case that they're going to be trying to make to say, like, I'm sure we're going to get a lot more facts that we previously did not have. And yeah, as Ben mentions, NASCAR was very upset about SRX, Tony Stewart's racing series, because they felt very threatened by it. It is very American capitalism. That is exactly what this is.
Exactly what it is. He's not wrong that it's family owned, but he's making it sound like a mom and pop shop, which is, I hate that terminology. Like, I see what they're doing there, but like the Frances are worth billions of dollars, and there's no way you're convincing me this is like a.
Yeah.
Also, if you're listening to this text messages and stuff came out before the trial as like open discovery. Excuse me, that's what it's called officially. And there's been some spicy text messages on the NASCAR side from currently now President Steve O'Donnell and like his coworkers and stuff like that. And it's been including calling a team owner. I believe he called him a cuck.
Yes. He called Richard Childress a cuck.
Which is funny because he's
Richard
like,
Childress.
He's like, I swear I talked to him before this came out, so we're all cool. And I was like, there's no way you told Richard Childress that you called him a cuck.
He's getting on the stand. He's testifying. So.
Oh, the owner of Spire called him a cuck, yeah. And then the Steves were like, yeah, totally. I agree. And I was like, this is crazy, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna find out a lot, I think, in this trial. I feel like we're gonna have.
I haven't seen any spicy like 2311 stuff. Like, yeah, Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan talk shit. Don't get me wrong, but it's something surprising. The way like Michael Jordan has talked about like, he's like, oh, this is gonna cost us X number, and he's like, yeah, I lose that in a weekend and a gambling whatever. Like, Michael Jordan is fine, and nothing that Denny Hamlin has said is like nothing that I haven't either heard him say or like written on Twitter or something. You know, like none of that's surprising. The NASCAR stuff, I'm like, guys, damn, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Use encryption if you're going to be talking like this. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the 2311 texts are coming in court. Ooh, that's going to be fun. I see. Oh, why weren't they part of the initial?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Michael Jordan made big playing ball. He didn't play ball for years. He has self-control. Was that a sarcasm? Because if Michael Jordan has one thing, it is not self-control, which is where all this stuff has come into play about Michael Jordan. He also makes a lot of money from his Nike stuff.
Yeah. So it's fun. Oh, and one of the things that came out during Denny Hamlin's testimony of how he got involved with Michael Jordan, I thought this was so funny. There was, during COVID, someone wrote a like fake article about how Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan were thinking about teaming up to buy Richard Petty Enterprises. And Denny said, I was doing that. Me. Michael Jordan had nothing to do with it, but he sent Michael Jordan the link to it, said, haha, isn't this so funny? Like, I'm thinking about doing this, but for some reason they have you involved. And then Michael Jordan was like, what if we just started a team? So that was kind of how this all, I was like, that's fun. That's a someone bullshit fake article out there just like legit manifested this happening.
I need Michael Jordan to invest in other things in the Charlotte system. The Hornets again. Maybe the Panthers. Maybe the WNBA team. I need his money in the city that he loves so much. I need him for other public infrastructure. I need him off this NASCAR thing.
Driver education courses.
Okay, can I say one thing? Michael Jordan has so much money, yet he has the worst fitting suits I've ever seen in my entire life.
Maybe he's making a fashion
I know this is
statement.
like a strictly Michael Jordan thing, which people will joke about that he like doesn't dress the best. And I don't know if it's like he doesn't want to bother with tailors or like doesn't have the time. He just like doesn't care, which I respect. If you're worth that much money, you're like, do I really care? Everything fits. I'm wearing a suit. Who gives a shit? He likes a shit baggy. Good for him. I'm kind of annoyed he's not wearing Jordans in court, but I understand why he can't, because you got to be respectful.
He's so funny.
That'd be hilarious. He got his 80s cut suits, and they're great. If I had that much money, I wouldn't even own a suit. Michael Jordan can buy like 85% of NASCAR, which is why this is so funny to me.
Yeah.
He just needs like another couple billion, like 1 or 2 billion, or like 1 billion from someone else, and he's fine. It's crazy how much money he has. And NASCAR is so just thinks they're like undefeatable, and it's like nah.
Yeah. It was another thing that came out. They were talking about that like $400 million went to the France family from NASCAR. They were like, this is not even NASCAR like getting this money. This is going just to the family that owns it. So like this is clearly a monopoly.
Yeah. Mom and pop shop. All the things they sacrificed.
Yeah. Gonna be a heck of a time. So
I wish I was at the jury.
I wish I was in Charlotte just so I could sit in all day. I got nothing fucking better to do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you have a free place to stay if you'd like to fly in.
I want to do Christmas at my house though. See, this is the problem. If this was in any other time of the year but December.
Just come over tomorrow, stay for a little bit, and then leave. You don't have to stay for the whole thing.
Maybe. I want to be there for Richard Childress's testimony.
How do you feel when you saw that they called you?
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to be allowed to ask about it, but I have a hard time thinking Richard Childress is not going to have feelings about it.
This is all so silly, and I love it.
I know.
It's so like
Drama
he said,
all
she said.
around.
Yeah, it's exactly. And this is everything I wanted from this. Jeff called me crazy, and he's like, this is going to be the end all be all. And I was like, nah, this is going to be hilarious. Still maybe
If it's going to be the end all be all, it is going to be a hell of a watch on the way
good
down.
show, yeah.
The documentary that's going to come out on this is going to be a fucking banger.
One episode of Explain the Playoffs. All right, Chad. Elizabeth, what do we expect from you this week?
I'm going to have some posts on my Deadly Passions, Terrible Joys Substack, so make sure you go there, check it out. And if you can, subscribe with a fee. It's $10 a month or $100 a year if you would like. That is my primary source of income at the moment. So if you want to support me and my work, that is what you should be doing.
Denny Hamlin's tweeting from his breaks during court. That's so funny. I'll be doing my watch along on Sunday morning. But otherwise, I'm in the Discord on Instagram. Hashtag keep pounding.
Hashtag still we rise.
Yeah, but that one's like a serious one. I feel like keep pounding's a good one. Is the Panthers on a bye week? What are
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed. We won. Who knew? Panthers are coming back, baby. Next year's our year. Touch some grass, drink some water, take your medication. Be kind on the internet. Just don't be an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Just like keep your mean comments to your text your friends your mean shit, and then like don't make other
Keep
people
it to
say
the group
worse.
chat, bro.
Damn, my close personal friend Drake May, who I played pickleball with. Yeah. I gotta post that photo somewhere in the house. It's a good photo of myself and my significant other, and we're like, we just need to print this out because it'd be cool to have. Sam Howell, Drake May. So fun. Be kind, and who's gonna message Kimmy? Nice things. Or nothing at all. That's an option.
Send Kimmy.
Don't send him anything.
Hate messages.
Don't send him anything. Don't send him anything. Don't even talk to him.
Send. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say send Helmut Marko hate messages. Don't do that.
Oh, Elizabeth.
If you want to
you're
fund
instigating.
Helmut. Now I am instigating. I'm gonna end this with a Helmut Marko video that I have saved. from 1974. Let's see if I can find it again.
I don't think anyone in this chat was born then.
I don't think so either. Hold on. Where's my playlist? I've been making playlists of old race car stuff, and one of them is a Helmut Marko video from ages ago.
Is this like Helmut Marko propaganda? What is this? What am I watching?
No, it's just really funny. It's Helmut Marko giving an interview while receiving a massage while he's like 25 years old. It's the funny. You should. It's so funny. It's not going to endear you to Helmut. It's probably going to just...
Yeah, that was my confusion. I was like, I don't want any positive things to say about this man.
Oh, you don't want it. The concept of this... Because he's getting a massage from this very just like greasy, sweaty man. Like, it's so funny.
No one wants to see... Okay, I'm clicking. Chat, I'll click on it for you.
Click on it. It's from 18 years ago.
What is happening?
When you picked your Helmut Marko, remember this is the. You don't have to listen to anything he said because this is the man. This is him. It's the same guy.
He has so much hair.
Mm-hmm. I believe he had 2 eyes at this point.
Elizabeth, some decorum.
But yeah, that's been my adventures, going through my archive of watched YouTube videos from back in the day of like these people who uploaded clips from Formula One in the 1970s, like 20 years ago on YouTube. I've been collating them all into a playlist. So if you want a Sam Posey or Peter Revson interview from Formula One, if you want Jackie Stewart inspecting a track from 1972, I've fucking got them.
Someone goes is getting a massage from a bear. Interesting enough, there's someone from 12 years ago saying that he posted this comment being drunk and frustrated in 2011. I can delete my comment, but he's talking about how Helmut Marko bitched about his drivers and qualifying sessions in 2010 and talking about like shitting on Vettel.
Mm-hmm. He's been doing this the whole time.
This doesn't make it okay, but I'm just saying everyone... This is like a thing.
What I'm saying is that when Helmut Marko says something, just remember to yourself, he just does this. This is just what he does. He's been doing this for years. To make it clear,
that doesn't excuse like his racist comments. Like that, we should get on him all the time. Yes. I don't care how old he is. I don't care if like that's his ways. Like that, I don't really believe that with old people. Like that, whatever. Hold them accountable. That's good. That's not a thing we're excusing. Just like shit talking people, to me is not a big deal. I just like don't understand. This is where I'm coming as a New Yorker. I'm like I do that all the time.
People have been mad about this for decades.
You should hear me when I say about people that I work on projects with. You should hear me in the Battlefield chat. I told everyone on my team to get better seeing eye dogs because everyone was we were losing. Like yeah. There's a very fine line. Don't get me wrong. He's not a good dude in certain things that he says, but in his shit talking has been a constant. And in the Formula One world has been a constant thing.
That's just what he does.
It's just what they all do.
Yeah. It's Formula One, baby.
We're a pro shit talking. I am pro booing.
This is big time auto racing.
Dr. Shit Talk. That's what we're going to call him. That's what I'm going to call him from now on anyway. Every time I'm on stream, I call him Dr. Shit Talk. I need to post this video on Twitter. This is hilarious. Chat, be good, behave, be kind. I can't believe this podcast puts out Helmut Marko feet content. Only here.
Do you think Helmut Marko has a wiki feet? Because if he doesn't, I might make one.
No, we need to close this down before this gets too far. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. There's one way to find out. I'm not going on it. Someone else go on it. I'm not doing it.
God bless.
Bye, everyone. We appreciate you. Have a good night. Join the Discord if you want
Adios,
to hang
amigos.
out. If you don't want to hang out, that's fine. We can just see you every week. Sometimes.
Hang out, though.
Yeah. My cat says hi. Bye, everyone.